They say you never truly own a book. You only hold on to it until it decides to move on to someone else. For years I thought that was the case with Victor Perard's Anatomy and Drawing. It was a foundational part of my life during my school days. It was the map I used to navigate the complexities of the human form, the silent teacher that sat on my desk during late night study sessions. And then, as often happens with the things that shape us, it vanished. It was lost to the unknown, a ghost in my library. But books have a strange way of circling back. While most of my books arrive in a sterile cardboard of an online delivery, this copy was different. I found it waiting for me in a local bookshop, tucked away on a shelf, as if it had been sitting there specifically to replace what I had lost. But unlike my first copy, which was weathered by time and heavy use, this one is strikingly fresh. It is a time capsule from 2003, published right here in India by Grace Prakashan in Mumbai. Today we are taking an appreciative look at the history, the art, and the enduring legacy of Victor Perard through the lens of this unique Subsidised Edition. To understand the weight of this book, you have to understand the man behind the drawings. Victor Perard was not just an illustrator, he was a vital bridge between the old world of European fine art and the booming industrial age of America. He studied at the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris under legendary masters like Jean-Léon Gérôme. This was an era where anatomy was taught with the precision of a science and the soul of a philosophy. Perard eventually brought that expertise to the Cooper Union in New York, where he taught for decades. His style is no nonsense. In an era of digital shortcuts and 3D models, Perard's mission was to provide a working knowledge of the body. When you look at these plates, you aren't just looking at pretty drawings. You're looking at a pedagogical tool designed for the working artist, the animator, and the student who needed to understand the mechanics of life. He treated the human body with the same clarity an engineer might treat a complex machine. What makes this specific copy so special to me is its origin. This is a local reprint. Grace Prakashan released this in Mumbai in 2003, and the cover carries a label that many of us in India will recognize with a certain fondness, the Subsidised Edition. Take a look at the price printed right here, 100 rupees. Even in 2003, that was an incredible value for a book of this caliber. For decades, these editions were the backbone of art education in our country. They took world-class instructional material, which might have been prohibitively expensive as international imports, and made them accessible to every student with a dream. This wasn't just a book. It was a democratized piece of art history. Seeing that 100 rupee price point makes me think of the classrooms where these books must have been passed around like sacred texts, because they were the only high quality resources we could actually afford. Look at the economy of these lines. The printing is surprisingly crisp. You can see the tooth of the original drawing in the way the ink hits the page. Perard had a unique ability to simplify without losing the essence of the form. He didn't overwhelm you with medical terminology or unnecessary complexity. Instead, he showed you the rhythm of the skeleton. In this copy, notice how he treats the hand. For most artists, the hand is a nightmare of proportions and overlapping planes. But Perard breaks it down into a series of mechanical hinges. He treats the metacarpals like a fan and the fingers like linked cylinders. There is a deep, quiet beauty in this level of clarity. It reminds us that at the heart of all art is a sense of structural integrity. He shows the hand in motion, grabbing, pointing, and resting, all while maintaining the underlying bone structure. There is a specific irony in how this book returned to me. In an age where we can summon any title with a click and have it arrive in a cardboard box the next day, finding Perard in a local shop felt like homecoming. There is a different energy to a book that has lived on a physical shelf in your own neighborhood. Finding a brand new copy of a book that is essentially an old childhood friend is a rare feeling. It wasn't suggested to me by an algorithm based on my browsing history. It was a moment of pure serendipity. It felt like the shop had been holding on to it just for me, waiting for the day I realized my original copy was truly gone. Perard's approach to the face is particularly insightful. He focuses on what he calls the mask of the face. He shows how the muscles of expression pull and push the skin to create emotion. In this reprint, the details of the eyes and the subtle hatching around the mouth are perfectly preserved. He also spends a significant amount of time on the legs and feet, parts of the body that many modern tutorials gloss over. Perard knew that a figure is only as good as its foundation. He draws the foot not as a flat object, but as a complex arch designed to carry weight and provide balance. You can almost feel the tension in the calves he draws. This is the kind of detail that made this book a staple in art schools for nearly a century. Is a book from the early 20th century still relevant in the age of digital art? The human bone structure hasn't changed in the decades since Perard put pen to paper. While modern books might have slick layouts or glossy pages, they often lack the soul of these early plates. Perard's work belongs to the golden age of illustration. You can see the echoes of his teachings in the comic books of the 40s and the advertisements of the 50s. He taught an entire generation how to see the body as a dynamic, moving object rather than a motionless statue. What I appreciate most about this book is its honesty. It doesn't promise you anatomy in 5 minutes. It asks you to observe. It asks you to respect the tension of a muscle and the pivot of a joint. Holding this second copy, I am reminded of why I fell in love with old books in the first place. They are more than just information. They are vessels of time. The paper is still crisp. The ink is as sharp as it would have been when it left the press. But the instruction is timeless. If you ever find a copy of Perard in a local shop, especially a subsidized one like this, don't leave it there. It is one of those rare books that actually makes you a better observer of the world around you. And losing my first copy felt like losing a mentor. For years I had to rely on my memory of those drawings and the lessons I learned from them. Coming across this fresh copy felt like that mentor walked back into the room, unchanged by time, ready to teach the same lessons once again. There is something deeply comforting about the consistency of a great book. It reminds me that while our lives change and we move from place to place and we lose things along the way, the fundamentals remain. The way a shoulder rotates, the way a knee bends, and the way an artist captures those movements on a flat sheet of paper. Those truths are as solid today as they were when Perard first drew them. My first copy is still out there somewhere. Perhaps it is on someone else's shelf right now, helping them discover the curve of a shoulder for the first time. And that's okay, because the second copy has found its way home. It's a bit of a miracle to find a fresh 20-year-old book in a local shop, but I suppose that's just how the best books work. They have a way of showing up exactly when you need to get back to basics. Thank you for joining me on this appreciative look at anatomy and drawing. If you have a book from your school days that you've had to hunt down again as an adult, I'd like to hear about it in the comments. Did you find a used, battered copy? Or did you get lucky with a fresh one like I did? Let us talk about the books that keep coming back to us.